Hey everyone, today we're going to go over the results of cutting these variegated philodendron to express more coloring in the new shoots. About a month and a half ago on December 10th, I made a video about cutting these two exact plants. The purpose of that video was to cut these plants just like the Monstera albos to produce the next shoot in having more variegation. And we did that by analyzing the stem striping. So we're going to go over those results today, and also I'll show you at the end using this Florida Beauty how to do it again if you missed that video. So here, if you look at this leaf stem, you can see there's a bit of a coloring pattern change, and that's the node I want to take. Cutting between the nodes here. So in about a month and a half, we have these 3 new leaves, or technically it's 2 new leaves. You can see the shoots that have come out. When we took the cutting, we cut it off here, and there was a very variegated leaf there, and I said either this shoot would activate or the one below it, and the one below it really took off. And you can see this one is really just starting to horn out, and like I've said before, you don't want both of these to produce at the same time. So this one has taken over and dominated, and we got what we came for, which is lots of variegation. Now, I expected this plant to have a little bit more of that strawberry variegation, which I'm hoping will come out here, but it's a bit promising to look for the really variegated leaf, and underneath this variegated leaf will be the new shoot, and if you cut just above that, it will produce a shoot along there that will create more variegation like that. It's also cool to just see the growth that occurs in a month and a half. This, for instance, was just a wet stick I had laying here, and we have 4 new leaves coming out of here, and for a slower growing plant like the strawberry shake, that is not bad, and we got what we wanted. We can kind of cheat ahead and see this red leaf, tons of variegation in there, so I'm really happy with the results of this one. But I think the strategy kind of remains and is a little bit proven, and we'll show you on the Pink Princess next. And if I could just stop you right there and please ask you to subscribe or like the video, it really does help us out. If you guys remember, we cut underneath this half moon leaf, but just under this leaf is a really nice striping along the stem. So what I'm going to do is cut just above this shoot. Here we go. Cutting between the nodes here. So again, where this leaf is connected to the stem here, on the inside of it, that's where the shoot's going to come out of. And I don't want to rip off this half moon leaf to show you guys. So in a perfect world, if I did this right, this shoot will come out with lots of great variegation, not be all burgundy, not be all green. And as you can see, it has striping along the bottom side of the stem. And that is the shoot that came out. So let's dig in to see what variegation we had come out. So here's the first leaf that's come out with really good marbling along it. You can see, and then here on the new leaf that is extending, you really see some great striping along this new leaf. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna do it just a little bit, guys, even if I mess up the new leaf. Just look at the striping that's come out. Sorry for the glare, but it's a crazy Pink Princess striping. I don't know if I've ever seen that variegation before. It's like camo pink. All right, I might have destroyed the leaf, but it was worth it. But I'm really happy with the results of pushing out really pink marbled leaves. It's always the goal for me is to have more marbled variegation than hard block half mooning. But definitely the theory of finding a variegated leaf and then guiding that back to the stem and then finding the striping along that stem, cutting just above it to force it out, is kind of a working theory we have going on right now. Okay, next up is this Florida Beauty, which I'm going to demonstrate the exact process I did on the Strawberry Shake and the Pink Princess. Now, this exact specimen of Florida Beauty has done great for me. It's had very stable variegation, unlike some of the other ones I've had, which have had not great variegation, but it could have been from me cutting them in the wrong places and then exhibiting that all green or all white or yellow part of the stem. So examining the stem is what takes the most time. You have to look around for the little buds, which actually on this plant are visible. So first up is this axial bud. This is actually looking like one of my best candidates for this plant. Then rotating the stem again, we have this axial bud down here. Again, doesn't have great variegation along that bud or that pimple. Okay, so I think I found it. It's kind of hidden by one of the leaf stems, but I'll try and show you guys. It's actually behind this exact leaf. There it is right there. There's just some striping I'm seeing along the stem. So because this is my target leaf, I'm gonna go just above that and cut just above that shoot so that it pushes out and creates something like we've seen on the Strawberry Shake and the Pink Princess. Right about here. Here's our 3-leaf cutting, super pretty, lots of variegation along it, and tons of aerial roots almost ready to be planted. So this will remain as my mother plant, and I have this cutting. And hopefully this will grow back in about a month and a half, a couple new leaves that have variegation. Also, another thing to keep in mind is while you're going down the stem, never go all the way to the bottom to where you run out of nodes, because naturally you'll end up with no other growth points, and that's actually what's called a spent node. So there's tons of different opportunities for this plant to produce shoots. If this shoot doesn't activate, another one will. Essentially at every leaf point there should be a different node. So technically this plant has about 7 different nodes that I could start from. If you guys enjoyed today's video or learned something new, please click the like button down below and consider subscribing, since we make a new video about rare plants every Saturday. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.